adjustment going back to work full-time after almost a year of not working at all and then working part-time from home. And of course, now that I'm back at work, out of the house full-time, the weather is absolutely gorgeous and it feels a little bit like torture, I have to say. I'm not 100% recovered. I'm still in pain every day, basically. And I wasn't expecting that to happen. I really thought I'd be back to my normal functioning self by now, but I am progressing as far as abilities and mobility. Every week I'm mobile, so I'm grateful for that. But if any of you have had a complicated break to the foot or ankle, I would like to know, did it take you this long to recover? And what did you do to speed that recovery along? This feels long. Everyone's telling me it's normal, but it feels incredibly long. And I would love any tips or suggestions that I can get. Anyway, as I was saying, it is just incredibly beautiful here. Spring is in full bloom, and I've been spending basically every possible available second that I can outside in the yard, planting and transplanting and weeding and just playing in the dirt. And I think I've run out of things. I mean, besides weeding, there's always weeding to do. And this morning I hung up trellis to hang. We have this grapevine that we grew from a tiny baby. I don't know what we were thinking. We don't have place for it, so we moved it into the alley the alley behind all the houses on our block. We just stuck it on the outside of our fence. So I put up a trellis today to see if that would make it happy, because it was kind of hanging down and looking sad. So hopefully that will help. I clearly need a bigger yard. If I'm trying to grow grapes in my parking spot, yeah, we need a yard. We need some land is what we need. We need some serious land. Anyway, there's nowhere I'd rather be than outside poking around the garden, so I'm really happy, except for maybe the kitchen. The garden and the kitchen are, I would say, pretty equal. And I've spent a good amount of time in the kitchen this week also, but mostly making cold dishes because it's been quite hot. One of the cold dishes that I made this week was a vegan seafood salad, which I'm about to share with you. And I know that there's a lot of vegans who are very much against eating the plant-based equivalent of an animal product. And I totally respect that, and I get it. It makes perfect sense to me. But I also know that a lot of people who grew up conditioned to eating animal products, who are trying to eat less of them or none of them, find that transition a lot easier if there's a plant-based equivalent of that. So I think it's a good thing. And also I feel like sometimes when I make a vegan version of something that is originally an animal product, like a burger or an egg or a seafood or whatever, any animal product, I kind of like it also because not only can I recreate some dishes that make me feel nostalgic or represent certain eras in my life or remind me of people that I love, but also because it reminds me of the good that I'm doing, that we're all doing, to counteract the negative impact of the animal agriculture industry and the fishing industry. I'm talking about health risks, I'm talking about cruelty to animals, of course, and I'm talking about the impact on the environment. I mean, there are millions of tons of plastics floating in the ocean right now. There's the equivalent of a garbage truck full of plastic being dumped into the ocean every single minute. Sharks are going extinct. Over 5 million fish are being caught every single minute of the day. There are over 300,000 whales, porpoises, dolphins, etc. being caught as bycatch by accident. There's just, the impact is just enormous. And if we keep doing this, it's projected that the oceans will be completely empty by between 2048 and 2051. I think over 50% of the seafood that we eat in a year is farmed. So either on land in tanks or in the ocean in enclosed areas, not completely enclosed, but that the fish can't get out of. And these fish are in very, very cramped, not very hygienic environments. They are prone to injury and parasites, lice, all kinds of really nasty stuff. And the ones that are in the ocean, everything that's going on in these areas is leaching out and affecting the surrounding fish and plant life in the waters surrounding. I watched the Netflix special You Are What You Eat recently, and it actually, not a lot shocks me anymore, but it shocked me the condition of the fish, the farmed fish that people are eating every day. And I almost kind of didn't entirely believe that that was true until a few days later I went to a grocery store that has the fish in tanks. The fish are still alive, and I saw them, and it was horrendous. They were truly as sick and gross looking and mutated in the store as they were on the television show. And I don't know why I've never noticed that before. Maybe because I usually avoid that area because I just don't want to see the fish in these little tanks. But I was literally in tears in the grocery store, like traumatized. Anyway, I'm not sharing that to be shocking either. I'm sharing that because I think that everyone deserves to know exactly what it is that they're eating. I mean, some people won't eat bruised fruit or ugly vegetables. And when you buy farm fish, they're in packaging, right? So you don't even see, often, not the ones that are in the tank that you can literally choose, but often if you buy frozen fish, for example, or the fish in the styrofoam plastic container things, you don't see them. You just see the inside, the flesh. Anyways, everyone should know exactly what it is they're eating. Everyone has the right to know exactly what it is they're eating. All of this to say that if having an alternative version of these products help people to cut back on the actual seafood or even eliminate it altogether, then I think it's great. And there are tons of vegan seafood products out there made out of chickpeas, gluten, soy, tofu, pea protein, seaweed, potatoes, jackfruit, root vegetables. And lately I saw a few recipes out there for battered fish, like fish and chips fish, made out of celeriac, which I cannot imagine. I can't picture the taste or the mouth feel, like the texture being similar to fish. So of course, I have to try it, obviously. I've tried scallops made with enoki mushrooms, which I will show you sometime soon, and ceviche made out of, well, a bunch of things, which I'll also show you soon. And I have made calamari out of king oyster mushrooms, which I've already showed you just a few episodes back, I think. And of course, the seafood salad that I'm about to show you in a few short minutes.
By the way, for anyone who was watching last week, those potatoes that I wasn't sure if they would actually turn into plants have sprouted into little adorable potato plants, and I'm so excited. For my seafood salad, I used half a bulb of fennel, but all of it, the whole thing, except for the bum, which I cut off. I sliced it really, really thin. I used the bulb, I used the little fronds, I used the stem, and it's fun because they all have that kind of licoricey fennel taste, but they all have very different textures. I used king oyster mushrooms to mimic sort of the scallop part of the dish. I could have scored them, I guess, but I'm not pan frying them or searing them. I zested some lemon. I used lemon juice and lime juice. I think a traditional Italian seafood salad would probably just have lemon, but I love, love, love the taste of lime, so I'm gonna put lemon and lime. And in fact, I'm also gonna use blood orange for the dressing, so we have 3 very different citrusy flavors going on, which I love. I let the mushrooms marinate in the lemon and lime juice for a couple of hours. I am gonna cook them, but I really want them to soak up as much of the lemon and lime juice as possible first. The next thing I used was palm hearts, which you can get in a can at pretty much any grocery store. And the fun thing about them is that the palm hearts are like little rings. So if you pop out the middle, you really have like the little ring of almost like a calamari, but not exactly, but kind of looks similar. These you don't have to cook at all, you can eat them raw. I think you can technically eat the king oyster mushrooms raw also, especially because they're marinating in the lemon juice, but the texture's not as fun. I cooked the mushrooms in some water with a pinch of salt and bay leaves and some lemon. I cooked the mushrooms just for a few minutes until they had kind of a nice, chewy, almost tender texture. I heated up some plant-based shrimp that I bought at the natural food store in my neighborhood, and I don't know what the ingredients are. I can't remember. I haven't actually read the package in a long time, and I'm sorry, but I can add a link in the description to them, and then I imagine the ingredients will be listed. I'll try anyway. They're addictive anyway, that's the point I'm trying to get at. They're dangerously delicious. They don't taste exactly like shrimp, but they're really, really good. For the dressing, I used olive oil, another little pinch of salt, some Dijon mustard, and some agave syrup, as well as some fresh garlic, some fresh parsley, I also added some lemon zest. I juiced a few blood oranges and then I mixed it all up together, and it tastes amazing. Plus, the color is just beautiful. I tossed all of my seafood together with the dressing, and then I just put arugula or rocket, depending on what you call it, on a plate. And then on that bed of greens, I dished out the seafood. I made a huge batch of it, and I was a bit worried that it might not be good the second day, that it might get too soggy, but it was delicious.
I want to thank you all so very, very much for taking the time to watch this video. It means a tremendous amount to me. It really, truly, honestly does. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, I can't thank you enough for believing in what I'm doing, for contributing to it, and for helping make this channel possible. I thank you. And if you would like to work one-on-one with me for naturopathy or nutrition, I work in person here in Montreal, and also online. So the booking link is in the description below. I will see you all next week. And in the meantime, take really, really, really good care of yourselves. Bye.